Have you ever felt a persistent restlessness that never fully leaves you, no matter how much you accomplish or how settled your life appears on the surface? It's that quiet inner tension, the sense that something significant is approaching, even if you can't explain what it is or when it will arrive. You may feel different from those around you, as though you're moving through the world with an unspoken awareness that ordinary routines, expectations, and definitions of success were never meant to be enough for you. This feeling can be confusing, even isolating, especially when no one else seems to notice what you're sensing. You might wonder if you're imagining it, or if something is wrong with you for feeling this way, but what if this unease isn't a flaw at all? What if it's a signal? In today's video, we're going to uncover where that feeling truly comes from and why it has followed you throughout your life. Drawing from decades of profound past life regression research, we explore a revelation that challenges everything you may have believed about your presence on this planet. You'll learn why those born between 1955 and 1975 did not arrive by coincidence, but during one of the most critical turning points in human history. This video will help you understand the deeper reason behind your sense of purpose, your heightened awareness, and the feeling that your life has always been quietly preparing you for something more. What you're experiencing isn't random emotion, it's memory, alignment, and timing beginning to surface. By the end of this video, you may no longer see your life or yourself the same way again. What once felt like restlessness may transform into clarity. What once felt like confusion may settle into recognition. This isn't about adopting a belief or following an idea. It's about remembering something you already know at a soul level. If these words stir something ancient within you, it may not be curiosity drawing you forward. It may be recognition calling you home to who you truly are. Stay with this message until the end, because what unfolds next may give language to a truth you've felt your entire life but never had the words to explain. Before we delve deeper, if you feel these messages resonate with something deeply within you, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Each video on this channel is created for awakening souls, seeking deeper truth about their own purpose in life. Your presence here is not accidental. Now, set aside the external noise. Listen not only with your intellect, but with the deepest feelings within you. Because the story about to be shared is more than just information, it could be a reminder of why you chose to be on Earth at this particular time. Section 1. The Third Wave of Volunteer Souls. Through more than 4 decades of dedicated research using the Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, Dolores Cannon gained access to what she described as the higher, all-knowing aspect of the human mind, the level of consciousness that exists beyond personality, memory, and linear time. Across thousands of deeply consistent hypnosis sessions conducted around the world, a remarkable pattern began to emerge, one that fundamentally reshaped the way incarnation, collective evolution, and planetary purpose could be understood. According to the information revealed through this higher perspective, souls do not arrive on Earth by chance, nor do they incarnate randomly into history. Instead, souls come in deliberate waves, each aligned with specific planetary needs and evolutionary thresholds. Every wave carries a distinct function, responding to the energetic conditions of the world at the time of arrival. Some waves prepare the foundation, others stabilize what has already been set in motion, and then there are waves that arrive at moments of crisis when the future itself hangs in the balance. Cannon identified those born between 1955 and 1975 as belonging to what she called the third wave of volunteer souls. These were not inexperienced or newly formed beings. They were souls who had already lived many lifetimes in other dimensions, star systems, and non-physical realms. They carried with them advanced spiritual awareness, subtle energetic intelligence, and an innate sensitivity to truth qualities that often made human life feel confusing, heavy, or strangely out of place from an early age. These souls incarnated fully aware at a soul level that Earth was approaching a critical turning point. Cannon referred to this moment simply as the shift, a massive transition in consciousness that would determine whether humanity would evolve beyond long-standing cycles of fear, conflict, separation, and limitation, or remain locked within them. The third wave did not come to save the world through force or authority. Their role was quieter, more internal, yet profoundly influential. By their presence alone, through their frequency, awareness, and ability to hold higher perspectives within dense human systems, they acted as stabilizers and transmitters of a new way of being. Many of them felt a deep, lifelong sense that they were here for something important, even if they could never fully articulate what that something was. The restlessness, the sensitivity, the sense of waiting for an unseen moment, all of it was connected to this larger mission. These souls came not to escape the world, but to be present within it, at the exact moment humanity would be asked to choose its future. Before we move into the next section, take a moment to pause and feel what you just heard. If this message stirred something familiar inside you, if it felt less like new information and more like a quiet remembering that response matters. This isn't just a story about souls or timelines. It's an invitation to recognize your own place within a much larger unfolding. If this resonates, gently support the work by liking the video, and if you feel called, share a few words in the comments about what stood out for you or what you've always sensed about your own journey. Or, if words feel unnecessary, simply type, "I remember why I came" in the comments. That simple act anchors the awareness you're reconnecting with, and it prepares us to go deeper as we move into the next part of this message. Section 2. A mission timed to the closing window. What sets this generation apart is not only where they came from, but when they chose to arrive. Their incarnation was not random, nor was it early. These souls entered the world with a clear awareness that the great planetary shift would unfold during their adult lifetimes. They understood that they were arriving near the end of a critical cycle, making them the final wave to fully incarnate before the transformational window began to narrow. Time itself was part of the assignment. Unlike earlier waves of souls who came primarily to observe, experience, and learn within Earth's density, this third wave arrived with a distinctly active role. Their purpose was not passive growth, but service. They came to anchor higher frequencies into physical reality, to gently awaken others through presence rather than force, and to help stabilize a planet undergoing profound energetic upheaval. Their very nervous systems, emotions, and awareness were designed to act as conduits, bridges between collapsing old structures and emerging new ones. These souls did not underestimate the difficulty of what they were agreeing to. Long before incarnation, they understood that the mission would be demanding, often exhausting, and deeply personal. They knew that hardship would not be an unfortunate side effect, but an integral part of the work itself. Emotional pressure, feelings of not belonging, repeated life disruptions, and periods of isolation were anticipated challenges, not mistakes. Each difficulty was recognized as a necessary refinement, strengthening their capacity to hold light in environments where it was scarce. Prior to entering physical form, many of these souls participated in meticulous planning. They carefully selected family systems, geographic locations, cultural conditions, and personal challenges that would accelerate growth and sharpen discernment. Difficult childhoods, unstable environments, or early responsibilities were often chosen deliberately, not as punishments, but as training grounds. These experiences forced early maturity and an inner reliance that would later become essential during the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Above all, they knew they would be asked to maintain higher levels of consciousness while immersed in an increasingly dense, chaotic, and distracted world. They would need to remember who they were without external validation, to remain steady while collective systems unraveled, and to carry clarity even when surrounded by confusion. This was never meant to be easy, but it was always meant to be worth it. Section 3. The challenges that forged the mission. This path was never designed to be comfortable, predictable, or easy. According to Cannon, the difficulties these souls encountered were not obstacles meant to block their progress, but deliberate pressures meant to shape them. Every challenge served a refining purpose, strengthening their awareness, resilience, and capacity to carry the mission they had agreed to fulfill. The first and most profound challenge was forgetting the natural amnesia that accompanies incarnation. Upon entering the physical world, their conscious memory of origin, purpose, and higher identity was sealed. For advanced souls, this forgetting was especially painful. It often manifested as a deep, persistent sense of not belonging, a quiet homesickness that no place, relationship, or achievement on earth could ever fully soothe. Many grew up feeling different without knowing why, sensing that life was meant to hold more meaning than what was visible on the surface. This inner ache was not weakness. It was the echo of a larger truth waiting to be remembered. Another major challenge was mission confusion. These souls carried multiple abilities, talents, and layers of purpose, which made fitting into rigid societal structures nearly impossible. Conventional career paths, strict hierarchies, and narrowly defined roles often felt suffocating rather than stabilizing. Many tried to adapt, only to feel restless, unfulfilled, or out of alignment. This restlessness was frequently misinterpreted by others and by themselves as indecision or failure. In reality, it was a signal. They were never meant to live small, ordinary lives confined by systems that could not accommodate their depth or range. They also faced what Cannon described as accelerated karma, the rapid clearing of lessons accumulated across multiple lifetimes, condensed into a single incarnation. Instead of spacing growth over many lives, these souls chose intensity. As a result, many experienced challenging childhoods, early responsibility, emotional hardship, or environments that forced them to mature quickly. Relationships often carried deep lessons, sometimes arriving with profound love and equally profound loss. While these experiences were painful, they catalyzed rapid transformation. Each difficulty stripped away illusion, strengthened inner authority, and expanded compassion. Together, these challenges forged something essential. They dismantled complacency, sharpened awareness, and built emotional and spiritual endurance. Nothing was wasted. Every hardship refined these souls into anchors of stability and clarity, prepared through experience rather than theory for the work that lay ahead. Section 4. Awakening and the Return of Memory. According to the observations of Dolores Cannon, awakening within this generation did not occur randomly or all at once. It followed a recognizable rhythm, unfolding in stages that gently and sometimes forcefully guided these souls back toward who they had always been beneath the surface of ordinary life. For many, the first signal appeared in late adolescence or early adulthood. It was rarely dramatic. Instead, it arrived as a quiet but persistent realization that life was meant to be more than achievement, comfort, approval, or survival. Even when everything appeared outwardly successful, something felt incomplete. A subtle inner voice began asking deeper questions, creating a sense of restlessness that could not be resolved by external milestones alone. This initial stirring naturally led into a seeking phase. Individuals felt drawn, often without knowing why, towards spiritual teachings, healing practices, alternative philosophies, and expanded states of awareness. They explored meditation, energy work, psychology, mysticism, ancient wisdom traditions, or intuitive arts, sometimes moving through many paths before finding resonance. During this period, life began responding in unusual ways. Synchronicities increased, as if reality itself were nudging them forward. Meaningful coincidences appeared too precise to dismiss. Prophetic or symbolic dreams became more frequent. Intuition sharpened spontaneously, surfacing as sudden insights, empathic sensitivity, or an unexplainable knowing that guided decisions before logic could catch up. These experiences were not learned behaviors but remembered capacities gradually reactivating. For many, the awakening deepened through what Cannon described as activation events. These moments acted as catalysts, unlocking dormant layers of memory and ability that had remained inaccessible until the individual was ready. Activation sometimes came through near-death experiences that dissolved fear and permanently altered perception. In other cases, it emerged through sudden or unexplained healings, intense emotional breakthroughs, encounters with non-physical beings, or powerful inner downloads, bursts of understanding that arrived fully formed beyond intellectual reasoning. These events were not chosen lightly. They served as internal switches, restoring access to knowledge that had been deliberately veiled during incarnation. Over time, awakening matured into integration. The experience shifted from seeking answers to living them. Individuals began to understand their specific roles not as abstract spiritual identities, but as practical expressions of consciousness in daily life. This phase often required profound realignment. Relationships that no longer resonated fell away. Careers built on external validation lost their appeal. Choices became guided less by expectation and more by inner coherence. Service emerged naturally, not as sacrifice, but as alignment. Awakening was no longer an event but a way of being, a steady return of memory that transformed confusion into clarity and purpose into lived reality. Before we move forward, pause for a moment and let this land. If you recognize yourself anywhere in this unfolding, the quiet restlessness, the years of seeking, the moments that changed you forever, then this is not just information, it is memory responding to itself. Take a breath and reflect on where your own awakening truly began and how it has reshaped the way you live, choose, and serve today. If you feel guided, share your experience in the comments so others know they are not alone on this path. And if words don't come easily, simply type, "I remember who I am," as a signal to yourself and to this community that your awakening is no longer behind you, but actively unfolding as we step into the next phase of this journey. Section 5. Living with the weight of planetary sensitivity. One of the most demanding aspects of this mission has been an extraordinary sensitivity to frequency. Souls within this generation did not arrive calibrated for density alone. They came from higher vibrational states where coherence, harmony, and clarity were the norm. As a result, immersion in a world marked by violence, emotional turbulence, environmental distress, and collective fear has often felt overwhelming. Many have struggled to understand why everyday life could feel so heavy, why news cycles, crowded environments, or even casual conversations could drain them so deeply. This sensitivity was not a flaw in their design, it was evidence of how finely tuned they truly are. Because of this heightened attunement, global events are rarely experienced from a distance. Wars, humanitarian crises, social upheaval, and planetary changes are often felt personally, sometimes emotionally, sometimes physically. Waves of grief, anxiety, or fatigue may arise without a clear personal cause, leaving individuals questioning their stability or strength. Yet these responses were never meant as punishment. As emphasized in Cannon's work, they functioned as preparation. Each moment of overload forced these souls to develop grounding, discernment, and energetic boundaries. Over time, what once felt unbearable became manageable, and then transformative. The very pressures that threatened to break them instead forged resilience and an exceptional capacity to remain centered while others collapse into fear. Through these experiences, many learned how to hold light within darkness without denying the reality of suffering. They developed compassion without becoming consumed, awareness without paralysis, and strength without hardening their hearts. This balance did not come easily. It was earned through years of inner recalibration, repeated cycles of overwhelm and recovery, and the gradual realization that sensitivity itself could become a stabilizing force for the collective. By learning to remain present in dense conditions, these souls became living anchors, quietly regulating emotional and energetic spaces simply by being who they are. Throughout their journey, they have maintained a subtle yet persistent connection to what Cannon described as the home frequency. This inner link acts as a compass, reminding them of coherence beyond chaos and order beyond confusion. It often manifests as intuition, sudden inner knowing, or an unshakable sense of guidance that appears precisely when needed. For some, it feels like a silent dialogue with spiritual guides or higher aspects of consciousness. For others, it shows up as an instinctive pull away from what harms them and toward what restores alignment. Even in moments of doubt, this connection has never fully disappeared. It has waited patiently beneath the surface. Many of these souls are also part of soul clusters groups that planned their incarnations together and agreed to cross paths during key moments of awakening. When these encounters occur, they rarely feel like meeting a stranger. Instead, they carry a sense of recognition, familiarity, and immediate depth, as if a long conversation is simply resuming after a pause. These connections provide confirmation, support, and remembrance, reinforcing that the journey was never meant to be walked alone. Together, these sensitivities, connections, and inner links form not a burden, but a living infrastructure, one designed to help hold the planet steady during times of profound transition. Section 6. Signs written into the body and the life. Once this mission is understood, the evidence becomes impossible to ignore. It is not hidden in abstract theories or distant prophecies. It is written directly into the bodies, minds, and life paths of this generation. Dolores Cannon repeatedly observed that those born within this 20-year window shared a striking set of traits that appeared again and again across thousands of cases, regardless of culture, upbringing, or belief system. These patterns were not accidental. They were markers of preparation. From an early age, many within this group displayed heightened intuitive abilities. As children, they often experienced vivid or prophetic dreams, sensed emotional undercurrents others missed, or felt aware of realities beyond the physical world. Some described an unspoken familiarity with unseen realms, spiritual guidance, or non-ordinary states of awareness long before they had language to explain them. For many, intuition was not something learned, it was something remembered. Alongside this intuitive awareness, a notable number demonstrated natural healing capacities. Some noticed their hands carried warmth or tingling energy. Others showed sensitivity to subtle frequencies, emotions, or physical imbalances in people around them. Even without formal training, they often found themselves drawn to healing practices and achieved results that surprised both themselves and others. What looked like coincidence was, in truth, an innate responsiveness to energy and restoration. Psychologically, these individuals frequently felt older than their chronological age. From childhood, they carried an unusual sense of responsibility, seriousness, or inner maturity that set them apart from peers. Many felt as though they were quietly waiting for something important to begin. This often expressed itself as a persistent inner urgency, a drive to contribute, to fix, to protect, or to serve long before they understood what their role might be. The feeling of, "I'm here for something," followed them even when life offered no clear answers. When viewed statistically, their life paths reveal another layer of confirmation. This generation is disproportionately represented in fields centered on healing, education, environmental protection, social justice, consciousness research, and alternative or integrative medicine. They gravitate toward work that alleviates suffering, restores balance, or expands awareness, even when such paths are financially uncertain or socially misunderstood. At the same time, this sensitivity comes with challenges. Rates of depression, existential questioning, and emotional overwhelm are higher within this group. Yet what distinguishes them is not the presence of suffering, but their response to it. Again and again, they demonstrate an extraordinary capacity to transform pain into insight, hardship into compassion, and personal struggle into service. What might have broken others becomes, for them, a source of wisdom. These signs are not flaws, and they are not random traits. They are evidence of a deeper design, proof that the mission was never meant to be theoretical. It was meant to be lived, felt, and embodied. As we come to the close of this message, take a moment to truly feel what is being asked of you now. According to Cannon's work, humanity is not simply passing through another historical phase. We are approaching the crescendo of a long-prepared transition. And those born between 1955 and 1975 stand at the very edge of completing one of the most significant missions ever undertaken on this planet. This is not a role given lightly, and it was never meant to be easy. It was entrusted to you because of who you are at the core. This mission has never demanded perfection. It has always called for authenticity. It asks for courage in moments when fear would be easier, for love when comfort would tempt you to turn away, and for truth when illusion feels safer. You were never expected to have all the answers. You were expected to remain real, awake, and willing. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every challenge you endured strengthened your inner structure. Every awakening refined your awareness. Every meaningful connection, no matter how brief or difficult, has been weaving the invisible network designed to anchor a higher consciousness on Earth. Even when it felt like nothing was happening, something profound was taking shape beneath the surface. Never underestimate the power of your presence. Each moment you choose higher awareness, you subtly shift the collective field. Each act of compassion stabilizes a world in flux. Each decision made from love rather than fear moves the mission forward in ways the mind cannot fully measure. You are not small in this story. You are necessary. So remember who you are. Remember why you came. What is being born through your service will echo far beyond this lifetime, far beyond this planet. The mission has not ended. It is unfolding through you right now, and it cannot be completed without your participation. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below and type this affirmation exactly as written. I remember my mission and I choose love. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're awake. If this video supported you, please like it, share it with someone who may need this reminder, and subscribe to the Spiritual Flow channel so you don't miss what comes next. And when you're ready, continue your journey by watching the video below. The path is still unfolding and you are an essential part of what comes next.